They watch you closer than you think, not because they care about your well-being, but because they are calculating where to strike. Every smile you give them is data. Every boundary you fail to set is an opening. Every time you overshare, overcommit, or overextend yourself, you hand them a blueprint of how to control you, and they will use it. Most people walk through life completely unaware that they are being studied. They believe relationships are built on trust and goodwill. They think loyalty is reciprocal. They assume kindness will be remembered and returned. But while they operate on hope, others operate on strategy, and strategy always wins. You have been taught to be open, to be vulnerable, to wear your heart on your sleeve. The world called it authenticity. But what they did not tell you is that authenticity without protection is just exposure. And exposure in a world full of opportunists is suicide. The people who survive, who rise, who remain untouchable, they are not the nicest. They are not the most trusting. They are the ones who learn to master themselves so completely that no one else can. This video will show you exactly how they do it. You were raised on fairy tales. The hero wins because he is good. The villain loses because he is bad. Justice prevails. Hard work pays off. Do the right thing and the world will reward you. Beautiful lies, comforting myths, and none of it prepares you for the truth. The truth is that the world does not care about your intentions. It does not pause to appreciate your effort. It does not reward you for being morally superior. The world responds to power, to presence, to the ability to command respect without begging for it. And if you do not have that, you will be used, discarded, and forgotten. You see it everywhere. Good people getting passed over for promotions while manipulators climb. Loyal friends getting abandoned the moment they stop being useful. Honest people getting lied to by those who smile the brightest. It is not an accident. It is a pattern. And the pattern exists because most people refuse to see the game being played right in front of them. They think showing weakness builds connection. So they cry in public, overshare on social media, and constantly seek validation from strangers. They think being available shows they care. So they answer every call, respond to every message, and sacrifice their time for people who would not do the same. They think explaining themselves proves they are reasonable. So they justify, defend, and apologize to people who never deserve an explanation in the first place. And what happens? They get walked over, manipulated, drained, used until there is nothing left, then replaced without a second thought. The people who win do not play by those rules. They understand something most will never accept. Being untouchable is not about being cold. It is about being unreachable. It is about building yourself in such a way that people cannot find a crack to exploit. No weak point, no predictable reaction, no easy access to your mind or emotions. There's a reason certain people seem immune to drama. Why some individuals move through chaos without getting burned. Why specific personalities command respect without ever raising their voice. It is not luck. It is not genetics. It is psychology. These people have internalized 7 core traits that make them psychologically bulletproof. They do not advertise these traits. They do not brag about them. They simply live them. And the result is a life where manipulation slides off them like water off steel. Robert Greene wrote in the 48 Laws of Power, the best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Most people are so easy to deceive because they are predictable. Their emotions are obvious. Their triggers are visible. Their boundaries are weak. But when you master these 7 traits, you become a mystery. And mysteries cannot be controlled. What I am about to share with you will not make you more likable. It will make you more powerful. It will not win you popularity contests. It will win you respect. It will not make people comfortable around you. It will make them careful. And in a world where people test you constantly, being underestimated is useful, but being feared for your self-control is permanent protection. Let us begin. The first trait of untouchable people is this. You cannot read their emotions. You cannot tell when they are hurt, angry, desperate, or afraid. Not because they do not feel these things, but because they have mastered the art of emotional invisibility. Most people are emotional billboards. You can see their pain from across the room. You can hear their desperation in their voice. You can sense their need for approval in the way they laugh too hard at jokes that are not funny. And predators see it too. They see it and they move in. Emotional invisibility does not mean you become a robot. It means you stop broadcasting your internal state to people who have not earned access to it. Your face becomes neutral. Your voice stays calm. Your body language gives nothing away. When someone insults you, they see no reaction. When someone tries to provoke you, they get silence. When someone pushes your boundaries, they hit a wall they did not know existed. Sun Tzu said, "Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak." But the truly untouchable take it further. They appear nothing. No weakness, no strength, just calm, unshakable presence. This drives manipulators insane, because manipulation requires a reaction. If you do not react, they have no power. Think about the last time someone tried to get under your skin. Maybe they made a snide comment. Maybe they questioned your choices. Maybe they compared you to someone else. What did you do? Did you defend yourself? Did you explain? Did you get visibly upset? If you did, you lost, because you showed them exactly what button to press next time. Untouchable people do not defend. They observe. They take note of who tried to hurt them and why. Then they quietly adjust their distance. No drama, no confrontation, just a silent recalibration of how much access that person gets going forward. Your emotions are currency. Stop spending them on people who do not deserve them. Now, drop this affirmation in the comments. My emotions are mine. My reactions are calculated. Untouchable people do not fill every silence. They do not explain themselves to everyone. They do not overshare to create false intimacy. They understand that silence is a weapon, and most people are too uncomfortable to wield it. When you talk too much, you give away information. You reveal your insecurities. You expose your plans. You hand people the ammunition they need to undermine you later. Every word you speak is a piece of intelligence. And intelligent people guard their intelligence. Silence makes people nervous. It forces them to fill the void. And when they fill it, they reveal themselves, their assumptions, their fears, their intentions. You learn more about someone in 10 seconds of silence than in 10 minutes of conversation. Because in that silence, they show you what they are really thinking. There's a reason leaders pause before they speak. A reason negotiators let the other side talk first. A reason powerful people are never the loudest in the room. They know that silence creates authority. It creates mystery. It creates space for others to project their own fears and desires onto you. And once they do that, you control the narrative without saying a word. Most people panic in silence. They think it means something is wrong. So they babble. They joke. They overshare. They apologize for things they did not do. And with every unnecessary word, they weaken their position. Untouchable people do the opposite. They speak less. They choose their words with precision. And when they do speak, people listen because they know it matters. Stop explaining your decisions to people who are not affected by them. Stop justifying your boundaries to people who want to cross them. Stop defending your choices to people who have already decided to judge you. Your silence is not rude. It is self-respect. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Let them fill in the blanks with their own paranoia. The less you say, the more powerful you become. Now, say in the comments, I speak with purpose. My silence is my strength. Here is where most people lose. They need things to go a certain way. They need people to like them. They need validation, approval, reciprocation. And that need makes them controllable. Untouchable people have mastered outcome independence. They want things, but they do not need them. They prefer certain results, but they are not destroyed when things go differently. This is not apathy. It is freedom. When you are not attached to a specific outcome, no one can manipulate you with the promise or threat of that outcome. Think about dating. The person who needs a relationship more always has less power. The one who is willing to walk away controls the dynamic. This applies to friendships, business, family, everything. The moment someone knows you cannot live without them, they own you. But when you are completely fine either way, you become unpredictable, dangerous, untouchable, Nietzsche wrote. He was a why to live can bear almost anyhow. But the untouchable flip this. They build a life so solid that no single person, job, or situation can break them. They diversify their sources of happiness. They do not put all their emotional eggs in one basket. They create options, backup plans, exit strategies, not because they are pessimistic, but because they are smart. When you need nothing from anyone, you can interact with everyone freely. You can be kind without being used. You can be generous without being drained. You can care without being controlled. Because at the end of the day, if they leave, if they betray you, if they disappoint you, you will still be fine. And they know it. This trait terrifies manipulators because manipulation works by creating dependence. If you depend on them for happiness, validation, or security, they control you. But if you are self-contained, if you have built a fortress of inner stability, they cannot leverage anything against you. You become immune to guilt trips, emotional blackmail, and manufactured urgency. Outcome independence is not about not caring. It is about caring without becoming desperate. It is about wanting things without needing them so badly that you compromise yourself to get them. Build a life where you are the foundation, where no single person or situation collapsing can take you down with it. Drop this in the comments. I want, but I do not need. I am complete on my own. Untouchable people are not close to everyone. They are selective, intentional. They understand that proximity is a privilege, not a right, and they guard their inner circle like it is sacred territory. Most people let anyone in. Co-workers, acquaintances, people they barely know. They share personal details, ask for advice, invite them into their lives, and then they wonder why they get betrayed, why their business ends up as gossip, why their vulnerabilities become weapons. The untouchable do not make this mistake. They operate in layers. The outer layer is polite, professional, friendly even, but it is surface level. Small talk, pleasantries, nothing real. The next layer is cordial relationships. People they interact with regularly but do not trust deeply. Colleagues, casual friends, people who get curated versions of their life. Then there is the inner circle. Small, protected, earned over years, not weeks. These are the only people who see the real them, the struggles, the doubts, the unfiltered thoughts. And even here, they stay cautious because they know that people change, situations shift, and today's ally can become tomorrow's adversary. Calculated distance is not about being cold. It is about being wise. It is recognizing that not everyone deserves access to you, that some people are in your life for a season, and try to force them into a permanent role will only cause pain. It is understanding that energy is finite, and wasting it on people who do not value you is self-sabotage. Watch how untouchable people move. They are pleasant to everyone, but close to few. They share selectively. They reveal progressively. They test people over time before deciding how much trust to give. And they never, ever assume that because someone is nice to them, they are safe. Distance is protection. Boundaries are survival tools. The closer people get, the more damage they can do. So make them earn that closeness. Make them prove over time that they are worthy of your depth. And if they complain that you are guarded, let them. Their discomfort with your boundaries is not your problem to solve. Say it in the comments. My closeness is earned. My distance is protection. Untouchable people see what is happening before it fully unfolds. They recognize patterns. They notice inconsistencies. They catch the micro signals that everyone else misses. This is not paranoia. It is awareness. And awareness is power. Most people ignore red flags. They rationalize. They give endless second chances. They explain away lies, dismiss gut feelings, and talk themselves into trusting people their instincts already warned them about. Then they act surprised when things fall apart. The untouchable do not do this. They watch behavior, not words. They track consistency over time. They notice when someone says one thing, but does another. When energy shifts without explanation, when stories do not line up, when respect decreases slowly, subtly, but undeniably, they understand that people reveal themselves in patterns, not moments. One lie might be a mistake. 3 lies is a character trait. 1 cancellation might be bad luck. Repeated flaking is disrespect. 1 boundary violation might be ignorance. Ongoing violations are intentional. Pattern recognition allows you to predict behavior. If someone has lied to you 3 times, they will lie again. If someone has betrayed others in your presence, they will betray you when it serves them. If someone disrespects boundaries repeatedly, they do not value you. These are not assumptions. These are probabilities based on evidence. Untouchable people do not need to be burned 100 times to learn the lesson. They see the smoke and walk away before the fire starts. They trust patterns more than promises. They believe action over explanation. And they cut people off not out of cruelty, but out of clarity. Stop giving people the benefit of the doubt when they have already shown you who they are. Stop waiting for undeniable proof when the signs are already flashing red. Your intuition is not random. It is your subconscious processing thousands of micro details your conscious mind has not caught up to yet. Listen to it. Write this in the comments. I see patterns, not excuses. I trust behavior, not words. This trait separates the untouchable from everyone else. Self-containment, the ability to meet your own emotional needs, to validate yourself, to process pain without making it everyone else's problem, to exist fully without needing constant external input. Most people are emotional dependents. They need constant reassurance. They fish for compliments. They post their pain online hoping someone will care. They trauma dump on acquaintances. They require an audience for their feelings. And this makes them weak, because anyone who controls their emotional supply controls them. Untouchable people have built an internal world so rich that the external world cannot destabilize them. They do not need applause to know they did well. They do not need likes to feel valuable. They do not need someone else to tell them they matter. They have become their own source. This does not mean they are isolated. It means they are not desperate. They enjoy connection, but do not depend on it for survival. They appreciate support, but do not collapse without it. They value relationships, but do not use people as emotional crutches. Self-containment is built through brutal self-honesty, through sitting with your own pain instead of numbing it, through developing hobbies, skills, passions that fulfill you independently of other people, through learning to be alone without being lonely, through becoming so whole that another person can only add to your life, not complete it. When you are self-contained, manipulation loses its grip because manipulators use emotional dependency as leverage. They withhold affection to punish you. They give attention to reward you. They create anxiety to make you chase them. But none of this works if you do not need what they're offering. You become a fortress, self-sufficient, emotionally independent, impossible to starve because you feed yourself. This is true power, not dominance over others, but sovereignty over yourself. Say this affirmation: I am my own source. I validate myself. I need no one to be whole. The final trait is the most misunderstood: selective empathy. Untouchable people are not heartless. They simply refuse to waste empathy on people who weaponize it. Most people give empathy freely, to everyone, even to those who have hurt them repeatedly, even to those who mock their kindness behind their backs. They think this makes them good people. It does not. It makes them naive, because empathy without discernment is self-destruction. Untouchable people reserve their empathy for those who have earned it, for people who respect them, for those who reciprocate care, for individuals who have proven over time that they are trustworthy. Everyone else gets politeness, professionalism, civility, but not their heart. This is not cruelty. It is survival. Your empathy is precious. It is finite. And when you give it to people who manipulate, drain, or disrespect you, you are not being kind. You are being foolish. Empathy should flow toward those who appreciate it, not those who exploit it. The world will call you cold for this. Let them. The same people who demand your empathy would not offer theirs if roles were reversed. The same ones who guilt you for having boundaries are the ones who benefit from you having none. Do not let their moral posturing confuse you. Protecting your empathy is protecting your humanity. You have now learned all 7 traits: emotional invisibility, strategic silence, outcome independence, calculated distance, pattern recognition, self-containment, selective empathy. Together, they form a psychological armor that makes you untouchable. But knowledge is not enough. You must live this, practice this, internalize this until it becomes reflex. The world is not going to change. People will still lie, betray, manipulate, use, but you do not have to be an easy target anymore. You have a choice now. You can go back to being open, trusting, and repeatedly hurt. Or you can become someone no one dares to cross. Someone who moves through life protected by self-mastery. Someone who commands respect without demanding it. Someone untouchable. The decision is yours. But if you choose power, if you choose protection, if you choose to never be a victim again, then start today. Control your emotions. Guard your words. Need nothing. Choose your circle carefully. Watch for patterns. Become your own source. Protect your empathy. If this video spoke to you, do not just watch and forget. Take action, like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell, because this is not a motivational page. This is a training ground. We do not teach you to feel better. We teach you to become better, stronger, sharper, untouchable. Every video on this channel is designed to harden your mind and sharpen your instincts. We strip away illusions. We expose manipulation. We arm you with psychology that most people will never understand. This is not for everyone. This is for those ready to stop being played and start playing the game at a level most cannot even see. Welcome to the other side. Let us keep building.